Namaste and welcome to this evening's practice. So today's practice is about winding down at the end of your day, and it's going to be a 30-minute practice. Have a strap handy. If you don't have a strap, grab a belt or a tie, something that you can use as a strap. Have a couple of blocks handy as well, because we'll need at least one block. If you have two, we're going to be doing some lunges, so 2 blocks are nice for lunges if you're stiff in your hips. And so, as I said, this practice is all about unwinding and releasing the day. I just spent the day cleaning out my greenhouse and my garden, so my body is really tired and sore and stiff. So it's going to be a nice slow down, let it go kind of a practice. So let's just start seated. And we're just going to do a little mindfulness exercise. We have done this before, and it's one of my favorite things to do to gather the thoughts. So take your hands, rub your hands together, warm them up. And then keeping your fingers closed like this, cup your hands just on the side of your head, kind of almost the level of your ears. So your fingertips are pointing up to the sky. And then just close your eyes and begin to tune in. And you might begin to feel some sensations in your palms. Our brain emits, every thought emits electromagnetic waves. And so if you really tune in and become still and quiet, you might begin to feel a little bit of a tingling or warmth or some type of sensation in your hands. And then with intention, begin to gather your thoughts and take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And slowly, as you exhale, begin to draw your palms together in front of your face so that your thumbs are pretty much level with your eyebrows. Stay here for an inhale with our thoughts gathering energetically. And then as you exhale, slowly draw your hands to your center, to your heart. And let's do that 3 or 4 more times. So hands to the side of the head, cupping, tune into sensation, and have that intention that we are energetically gathering our thoughts here. Take a deep inhale, gathering. And slowly exhale, draw to center in front of your face. So we're gathering them between our palms, taking an inhale here. And exhale, slowly bring it down to your heart. Slowly and mindfully with intention, let's do that again. Cupping the hands, fingers together. Deep inhale into the belly, nice and slow. And as you exhale, slowly begin to gather your cupped hands together in front of your face, bringing the palms to touch. Take a nice deep inhale into the belly. Slowly exhale to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Take a full inhale and exhale here with intention of gathering your thoughts. Take one more inhale. Slowly exhale those thoughts to center between your palms. Stay here for an inhale. And draw slowly on an exhale to the heart center. Just stay here with hands at heart center for a full round of inhale and exhale. And just check in and notice if perhaps your mind has settled a little bit. Thoughts might be a little less scattered. Give yourself a moment to settle into your space on your mat, mentally letting go of the day. Release your hands down. We're going to rock forward onto hands and knees. And we're going to do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So we're going to do 3 rounds, just normal, however normal feels for you. So just drawing the heart forward slightly. I'm going to curl my toes under as I inhale because my arches, my feet are very stiff. So I'm going to add that into my cow pose. And then as I exhale, letting the head drop, the tail drop, and we draw the belly to the spine and open up the back of the spine. Inhale, draw the heart forward. And exhale. This time as I exhale, I'm going to shift my hips back just a little bit and get into the low back because my low back is really stiff. And inhale to cow. And exhale, shifting back a little bit again. And now as we inhale to cow, let's count our breath to a count of 4. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we exhale, we're going to shift into child's pose to a count of 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stay in your child's pose for a few breaths now. Breathing into the back body and breathing into any areas that you feel stiffness, even all the way down to your low back. And then inhale up to cow. We're going to exhale into downward facing dog. So maybe you take an inhale in your cow and exhale into down dog. And let's start with the knees bent. I should do this way. So that you can draw your belly to your thighs and press the top of the mat away from you. And really lengthen through your spine. Take another inhale, and then as you exhale, begin to press the thighs, the knees up and back. And feel into the groundedness of hands and feet here. Take one more breath here, and as you exhale, let's step or walk your feet to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to the back of your calves. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And drop the top of your head towards the earth. You can even wrap your hands around the back of your calves if you wish. And think about lifting your sit bones or your tail up to the sky. And then release, hands to your blocks or your mat. Lift your heart halfway. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Bow down. Press into the earth and rise up. Reach up. Turn your palms up. And just lengthen, looking towards the horizon rather than up. Try to lengthen your spine up. And release your hands down. Sorry, I have a visitor, so I'm just checking how much space I have. Let's get a little bit into the side body release, and then we'll do some release in the legs and make our way down closer to the earth. So let's inhale, reach up to the sky, turn your palms up, press up, reach up, and then step your right foot back behind you. Whoopsie. Step your right foot back behind you and side bend over to your left. And come back to center, release your hands down, both feet come to center. Let's do the other side. Inhale up. And exhale, step the left foot back. Side bend over to the right. Hope this feels as good for you as it is feeling for me. Let's inhale, come back to center, release your hands down, hands to your heart center. Nice breath here. And we're going to flow through a lunge. Vinyasa. So inhale, reach up to the sky. As we exhale, bow down. Inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. So we just want to release any tension we might have accumulated through the day, through the hips. And you can rock back and forth a little bit here. And we're going to exhale into reverse lunge, so you might take your blocks along with you here. And fold over that front leg any amount. And then inhale forward, drop your back knee. And let's just bring hands to that front knee and lift up a little bit. Let the front body open and release tension here as well. And then let's let the hands come to blocks or the mat and do the same reverse lunge in our low lunge with our knee down. And maybe you're able to fold over that front leg a little bit. Let's rock it forward, lift the back knee and step forward on an exhale. Inhale to lift the heart, hands to blocks or your mat. Let's exhale, the left foot comes back, coming into our lunge on our second side. Oh, this feels good on the low back and the hip flexors here. Take an inhale and we're exhaling to reverse lunge. Walk your blocks back a little bit. Fold over that front leg any amount. Your front leg may not be straight. That's okay. We're not looking to push here. We're looking to open and release and calm down. Let's inhale forward. Drop the back knee. I have a really slippery mat here today. And hands to that front knee. Let's open through the front body just a little bit. Shoulders down and back. Not inviting a big back bend, but we're opening through this hip flexor here. And then let's reverse it, hands to blocks or to the floor. Walk it back. Fold over that front leg. Come back up. Lift the back knee. Let's step back into downward facing dog. And we're going to keep it really simple here. We're not trying to energize. We're trying to bring the energy down a little bit, calming. We're going to bring our forearms down. And we're just going to rock forward into Sphinx pose. Again, just releasing hip flexors, stiffness. If you've been sitting at a computer or writing or working at a desk, just to help open up a little bit. I've been bending over a lot in my work today, so this feels really good whether you were super active or seated. Take one more breath here. And then let's release down. Stack your hands under your forehead. Let your forehead rest. And we're going to bend the knees and just rock the shins from side to side. I'm going to release both legs down. I'm going to keep my, which way should I do it? I'm going to keep my left hand down, and I'm going to extend my right hand out to the side. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to draw my left knee up. I'm just going to slide it up on my mat. And just breathe here. You don't need to be feeling a lot of sensation, but just opening through that right shoulder a little bit. And then you might bring your left hand, your palm on the floor, and you might begin to roll open a little bit. Some of you might even take that bent knee and step it behind your straight leg. If you're really tight in your shoulder and your chest, you're going to keep that foot and that knee in the first position. And just rolling the chest open a little bit might be enough. Maybe have a nice little sigh here, because it feels really good. And let's slide that knee down. Bring the right hand back in. And let's do the left. So I'm going to extend my left arm. I'm going to look to the right, and I'm going to bring my right palm down here as I slide my right knee up on the floor. And so again, you can stay right here. You can begin to roll open a little bit more. You can even bring that right foot to step behind your left leg, or stay in the first position. And then slide that knee down. Bring both hands under your shoulders. Let's press up and back, child's pose. And then let's inhale, rising up. And maybe doing just one round of cat-cow here, releasing through the spine. And we're going to come to a seat. I said we were going to make our way down to earth very quickly. We're going to come into a little twist to start with. And we're going to start with deer pose, actually. Oh, yay. Have a little more space. So I'm going to start with your legs in front of you. Drop your knees over to your right. And then bring your left leg back a little bit. So my right foot is on the top of my left thigh, or just in that area. And my left leg is just out behind. I'm going to slide up a little bit. And so from here, you can sit upright for a moment, but then we're going to begin to turn to our right. And you might just bring your left hand to that right knee and just have a little twist here. You might begin to walk your hands down and maybe stack your fists or use a block and let your head come down. We tend to spend a lot of time in our day moving our body from front to back, moving our legs from front to back, moving our arms front to back. We don't very often move into the lateral. And so this is a nice little break for that. Let's come all the way up. And we're going to move into Janu Sirsasana. So all I'm going to do is take that back leg and bring it out in front of me. Shift on your mat if you need to. And so all these forward folds we're doing are really good to down-regulate the nervous system, which is what we're looking for at the end of the day when we're getting closer to that time when we want to go to bed and we want to be able to fall asleep and stay asleep. So start with this front leg straight, and you can put a rolled up towel or a blanket under your knee if you need a little more support, if you're tight in your hamstrings. And you can also put a support under the bent knee if this is too intense for you. And for some of us, just sitting upright here in this position feels like a lot. We're going to turn towards this straight leg and think about lifting the belly up and over that leg. Maybe I'll turn to the side. So think about lifting up and over as we begin our descent in whatever amount of forward fold is going to happen to you. So think about moving your heart up and forward rather than trying to get your head down. Think about lifting up and forward. And so some of you just have your hands on either side of that straight leg. Close your eyes. Don't worry about how deep you are. Some of you are going to go a little bit deeper. And some of you are going to transition throughout the hold as things begin to loosen up. So some of us that are very tight in our QL ligament, which is in the back around the kidney area, this can be a really nice release. I had a little spasm at the beginning of class from all my work today. So this is the perfect pose to release that tension there. And then very slowly we're going to begin to make our way back up. The more intensity of sensation you felt, the slower you want to come out of it. And then let's bring the soles of both feet down to the mat. Let's the knees drop over to the left. We're going into deer pose on our second side, so I'm going to draw that right foot back a little bit. Both knees are bent. It's like our legs are kind of making these 45 or 90 degree angles, I should say. And so, again, options. You can have your right hand on that left knee. You can walk both hands forward over to the left. You can use a block to rest your forehead on. You can use stacked fists. But we're making our way closer to the earth, whatever that looks like for you. Now, I'm feeling a lot of opening in this side body, which feels great. You might be feeling it in your hips or somewhere different, and that's okay. Let's have a couple more breaths here. And then we're slowly going to make our way back up and move into Janir Sirsasana on our second side. So releasing the right leg straight. And it's like our left leg is in tree pose here. So again, you can put something under that knee. You can put a roll under the straight leg, but flex those right toes. And then rotate your body so that you're facing that straight leg. And lift the belly up and over that thigh, and we're hinging right at the hip creases here. And just have a hand on either side of that leg. Close your eyes and just move with sensation rather than how close you are to your leg. And one side's going to feel different than the other. Just honor that. Notice where you feel the tension in your body, or the sensation, I should say. And then slowly begin to make your way up. Release both legs out in front of you, feet flexed. We're going to do one little Paschimottanasana, forward fold over both legs, just to balance out the pelvis after those asymmetrical poses. So same action here of lifting up and over the thighs rather than just curling over trying to get your head down. So reaching through the heart center, reaching the heart forward. And your head is the last thing to move towards earth. If you can reach your toes, you can grab your toes and pull them back. You can use a strap on your toes. We're not staying for too long, so don't get too caught up into what version you're doing. And then slowly come back up. We're going to make our way onto our back. Have your block and your strap handy as we make our way down so that you can Reach them when you're lying down. I think I'm going to turn this way. It's warmer by the fire. So, lie down with knees bent to start. We're just going to windshield washer the knees from side to side a little bit, arms out to the side. And bring your feet wide and just let the knees drop with an exhale. Inhale to center, exhale the other side. Oh dear. Sorry about my sidekick sound effects. He's been so good all day, but he must hear the coyotes. And just a couple times to each side. And then come back to center. Extend your left leg straight. We're going to draw the right knee in. This is a really nice pose for your digestion as well as releasing. And you can either be in stillness or you can take that knee and move it around a little bit. My hips are still feeling a little bit of tension from my day of work carrying heavy things. So I just need that little bit of movement, and you might too. And then take your left hand on the outside of that knee, and we're going to draw that knee over and across into a twist as we release our right hand out and looking towards the right. And so this is a little bit in the hips as well as the spine and side body here. My guard dog is back. Okay. And then let's come back to center. And let's switch it up. So holding on to this knee, bring your left leg straight up to the ceiling, bend that knee, extend the right leg straight up, and lower it down. So same options here. You can stay in stillness, drawing that thigh to the belly, or begin to move that hip, that leg around, get into a little more juiciness of the hip. And then right hand is going to come to the outside of that knee. Left hand extends and draw that knee over and across. And your foot or your knee might not come down to the mat. That's okay. You can just support it wherever it lands for you. And then coming back to center, we're going to grab our strap here and take your strap so that both ends, you can reach both ends, bring the strap kind of to the ball of your foot and find the place wherever it is for you where you can have your leg straight. And then begin to draw the toes down towards your nose. And I'm going to gather my strap in my left hand and extend. Actually, no, I'm not going to extend. I'm going to keep my right hand on my right hip as I open that left leg over to the left. And Beecher's making a perfect prop. You can place a block under your foot or your calf if you wish. As we open through the inner thigh. And you might also feel a bit of opening in this right hip flexor. I know I do, but that's my chronic place of tension is in the hip flexor. So I actually feel an opening here too, and you may as well, or you might not, and that's okay. We're going to come back to center, gather in the right hand, extend the left arm, and we're coming into a twist. And again, that foot might not come all the way down. If it does, that's okay. If it doesn't, that's also okay. What matters is what you're feeling, what kind of sensation you're feeling. And so this can be great for runners because you often have really a tight IT band, and so this will create some release into the IT in the back of the pelvis. Let's bring it back to center on your next inhale. And let's bring the right foot up to meet the left and just simply switch and lower your left leg down. So let's start in center. Again, finding that place. If you got your knee bent so that you can have your foot really far up, it's not really being effective. So loosen up on the strap until you can find the spot where your leg can be straight. And then let's open over to the right. You can sigh if you want. This is always a really good one for me. I like to include it in every practice I do. And I've got left hand on that left hip, helping to ground that left hip down. Let's come back to center and switch hands with your strap and cross it over to the other side. Extend your right arm out and you might look to the right. Getting into that right IT band, hamstrings, even the back of the pelvis. Let's come back to center and bend both knees. Bring the foot down. We're done with your strap, so you can place your strap off to the side, just over the 30-minute mark. So I'm going to lead you into your last pose, and we're going to leave you there for as long as you wish to be. So I don't have a wall here in the teepee, but if you're near a wall, you can do legs up the wall. Have your block handy. Lift up into bridge pose when you're ready to move there. And you can slip your block on any height under the back of your pelvis and raise your legs up. So if you don't have a wall, you can be just like this. But if you are near a wall, you can sit with your right hip right beside the wall and just rotate yourself onto your back with your legs coming up the wall so that your legs can rest. You can also, if you're doing legs up the wall, you can also gather your strap around your thighs so that you're not doing any holding, so that your legs will stay together and you can relax into that binding of the strap. And stay here for at least, if you can stay for at least 3 minutes, 5 minutes is even better. And you could close your eyes and let this be your Shavasana with your legs up the wall or legs floating as I'm doing. And just reverse the effects of gravity from the day, help the lymphatic system, move the fluids around, and just relax into this, preparing for deep rest in your bed tonight. So I'm going to say namaste, have an amazing sleep, and we'll see you at the next practice.